Well, good evening, gang, and welcome to It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams, and to my right and to your left, of course, is the lovely Valerie Eliason. Hi, Val. How are you?
Glenn, I'm great. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And we're coming to you live from our beautiful studios here at BNN TV, and you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. We're at 617-708-3290. Dave and the gang are answering the phones in the other room. If you want to give us a call and let us know what's going on artfully in your life, let me know. Val and I are waiting to hear from you.
We are.
Like to hear you. How are you?
I'm great. I had an awesome weekend.
You did?
Got to see you down at
Yes,
the
you
30th
came
anniversary.
down. 30th anniversary of Rosendale Village Main Streets, and we had the great Mayor Marty Walsh was down to celebrate with us. Our great City Councilor Tim McCarthy was there with his whole staff. Lots and lots of ex-presidents. All the ex-presidents, we all got together and had a nice big photo with the mayor. It was very nice. We're not often in the same space together, you know.
Yeah.
So it was nice, but you know,
it was
cool.
great. It was just expansive, and all the vendors and artists.
Right.
I loved it.
Right. Well, that's great. Travis, can you do that thing I was asking you to do for me, please? You know, I know that. Wait a minute. What's this? Somebody put something. Happy birthday, Valerie Eliason.
Oh, thanks, guys.
It is your birthday tomorrow.
It is.
And we got you some beautiful cards from It's All About Arts. Those are handmade cards by Janice. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Happy
Thank you, Janice.
birthday.
Thank you. I love her cards.
So now you're old enough to drink now.
I am old enough to drink it.
Well,
plus about 8 years.
Yeah, plus about 8 years. Oh, it's not 30, right?
Not 30, 29.
Okay, good.
Next year it's going to be 29.
Good.
Yep.
Okay. We'll leave this here and dig in any time that you want. Yes, please do. It's a nice cake.
Tiramisu.
So, what did you do this weekend? Did you enjoy you went out, you had I understand you were at a shoot today with one of our guests that's coming up very, very soon, right?
Yes. Travis Alex, awesome.
Hey, that's great.
Awesome photographer.
I know what I wanted to ask you. How long have you been doing, have you been modeling and being involved in photographers' artful adventures?
Probably about, yeah, it's good, it's real good.
I'm sure it is.
I would say probably about 5-6 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
Off and on, some years a lot more frequently than others. But I really enjoy it. I love the whole creative process behind it. I like seeing people's ideas and like missions sort of come together, and I love being a part of that.
I got to peek at a couple of Travis's, are they called rushes? I guess they don't call them rushes. Some of the shots that he had taken and stuff you had gotten your hands on, they're beautiful.
Yeah, I'm really, I got to see some of the behind the scenes ones, but I know a couple of them are a surprise, so.
Oh, good. We've got a full show today. Are you doing anything artful? Do you have a Val's View this week?
I do have a Val's View.
You do have a Val's View,
yeah.
Good. Well, we're going to get into that, of course. It's going to be a lot of fun to do that. What other artful things did you do this weekend?
Oh, geez.
You went out boating about, didn't you?
I did. I went out boating about. I'd celebrate some of the August birthdays in my family. It was really fun. Participated in that great photo shoot that we did on Saturday.
Yeah. Anything coming up that we need to know about?
Oh, geez. Nothing on my... Well, I'll tell you a lot about it in Val's View.
Okay, that's good.
There's a lot of good stuff coming up.
That's great.
Yeah.
What we do want to do is we want to talk for just a couple of minutes about our great supporters, the people that help us stay here in the building. What do you think of this place we're in?
I love this place.
Isn't
and
it
I love
great?
the history that it's so tied into Boston's history, being the old power generator of the Orange Line.
Yeah, there used to be 3 big generators in this building that created the power that drove the trains down Washington Street. And it was abandoned for many, many years.
Oh, yeah.
And what ended up happening is that BNN decided they wanted to consolidate their studios. We kind of spread out a little bit around the city of Boston. We wanted to consolidate some of that. And we bought the building. And it's great.
What better building could it have been?
2 state-of-the-art television studios. There's a great lab downstairs, Timothy Smith lab downstairs, with all the latest Macs there so people can generate and do their editing and what have you.
Yeah.
BNN TV is access. It's many years ago, the legislature decided that people needed to have a voice,
Yes.
an opportunity where they could go and kind of be heard. and have it be something that would be on the television airways and what have you. So what they did was they created money to create these small television studios where people could become members, learn how to use the equipment, go out and shoot the local swim meet, go out and shoot the local art thing or a local concert in the park.
Yeah.
Find some place to edit it, and it would be put on television. So this is what BNN is. BNN has 2 stations. There's this one, which is news and information, and here nonprofits get to come in and talk about their mission statement and what have you. There's the other station. It's channel 23. You know, why don't you take a quick click over to channel 23 and see what's going on? We'll be waiting for you when you get back. Okay, we're back. So channel 23 is for members. And people can buy a membership here, and they can come and take lessons in Final Cut Pro, learn how to use these great cameras, do lighting classes, audio classes, borrow the state-of-the-art digital cameras, go out and do your shoots, come back, edit it, and they put it on TV.
And the equipment they have down there really is state-of-the-art.
It's unbelievable stuff, yeah. So if you're interested in doing something like that, if you go to www.bnntv.org, click on Janice Williams or Jim Atwood's name, all the information you're going to need will come up, and you'll be able to do television production here with us. And you know what else is going on right there? If you click on the main page, what's playing now,
you'll see our
this show will come up. So we're streaming live. Hello, Paris. It's midnight in Paris. Hello.
Yes.
How are you?
Bonjour.
We just want to make sure that everybody knows. No, really, we're streaming everywhere. And there are people that we get emails from all over the country.
Florida,
we're very, very
Texas,
happy. I can't believe it, but it's kind of cool that it does happen. The other thing we like to talk about a little bit is Main Streets. What do you think of Main Streets? They're the ones that do that farmers market,
I love them. I always love stopping by the booth when I head down to the farmers market.
Yeah.
They are so great, and the fact that it's all volunteer driven, people they really care about their community and the work that they put into it, and recreating the storefronts and revitalizing the business district. It is it's so inspiring.
Right. That's their main mission. The main mission is to revitalize business districts that may have fallen on disarray or kind of fallen apart or need work or need some help. And so Main Streets is there to do it. I was talking to the big director of Main Streets over the weekend. He was there to celebrate the 30th with us in Rosendale. He's going to start sending us the executive directors of each district to come and spend 5 minutes with us to talk about what's going on. It's going to be like this kind of report, I think.
That's incredible.
They either do it and we show it, or they're going to come. I want them to come and sit here with us and tell us about. Instead of us telling everybody what Main Streets is about, let's get them in here to tell us themselves.
Absolutely.
And it'd be great.
I love that.
Okay?
All right.
Okay, good. I'm glad. That was quick. We've got a studio full of people here.
Oh,
it's amazing. Everybody's here, and we're very, very happy to be here. Listen, we're going to take a quick break. All right, we're going to come back with our first guest, so please don't go away. You're watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn.
My name is Valerie.
That's right. We're here every Monday night from 6 to 7. Listen, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Don't go away. Well, welcome back, gang. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're here live at Studio B. You're watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. I want to remind everybody that sometime tonight, maybe tomorrow morning or so sometime, this show will be available on our YouTube station. If you go to your YouTube station and dial in It's All About Arts with the number 1, this program will be available at that site. Also, in probably 4 or 5 days, if you go to bnntv.org, it'll be on video on demand, so you can have access to these shows and many of our past shows at your will. Also, we're asking everybody to please join our Facebook page. We are crawling ever so slowly up to the 500 is that what it is? Likes?
Yeah.
I guess it's likes.
500 likes.
So please be that 500th one. There's a big surprise for the person that is the 500th liker. We're not going to tell you what it is yet, but it's going to be fun. But right now, it's my great pleasure and honor to introduce you to and welcome to the set Travis Alex.
How you
Hello,
doing?
Travis. How are you, buddy?
Very humble to be here.
No, thank you so much for coming and joining us here. You are a photographer.
Yep.
If you were putting a website together for yourself and you had to put what kind of a photographer, because I know there's different people are, wedding photographers, people are, artists, and what do you kind of consider yourself?
I consider myself a conceptual portrait photographer or a fine art portrait photographer.
Okay, great. How long have you been doing that?
Well, I started taking pictures in high school, 35 millimeter camera back, when I was 14, 15. And then I kind of moved away from it. Initially wanted to be a chef around age 18. And then I really like cooking. But then I decided around age 20 that I wanted to shift gears. 'Cause I always like taking pictures.
Yep.
And that's kind of when I really kicked off and went to school for it.
Is it something you've stuck with?
Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
I went to the New England Institute of Art over in Brookline.
Oh, I know that place.
Yep.
Yes.
I studied photography there for 3.5 years. Learned under some great teachers.
Yeah.
And learned a lot there. And very excited to be where I am today and humbled to be in this position talking about my work.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You just did a shoot with our Val.
I did do a shoot with Val, and it was wild because I contacted her. I said, okay, this is the only date I got available, and it's 2 days before we go on live TV. So we're gonna have to get this shoot out. We're gonna have to get all the pictures ready. I'm gonna have to edit it Monday morning before I come on TV, and it's gonna be ready to go. And I only got it done about 2 hours ago.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We'll look at the shoot, the shots in a couple minutes. You said something interesting. Editing. Are you digitally shooting?
Yep.
Now, are you using Photoshop or Corel or one of those programs?
So I use Lightroom.
Okay.
I use Photoshop. Mainly stick around Lightroom. I'm just slowly diving into the idea of Photoshop manipulation. It's something that's relatively new to me. Only because I see a lot of really cool shots being done with it, and a lot of the ideas I center my shots around lately need that kind of manipulation.
Okay.
But it's a very slow and gradual process of learning right now.
See, if you're not using some of those aids, you're actually setting shots up then. You're waiting for the light, you're setting up your exposure, you're setting your camera to the right aperture and all that, and then you're taking the shot that you want with your eye. The old-fashioned way,
I'm a firm believer, especially with my work, that I like to focus on getting it right in camera. There's a big push for Photoshop manipulation work in the last few years, which is great. And I think that's fantastic and a great form of art, but it's not really my particular style.
Right.
I like to work with a lot of minor color adjustments and editing styles that work for me, but I like to get the connection, the lighting, the style right in camera first.
Right. Do you find that you're shopping yourself for whatever shoot you're going to be doing? Concerning yourself with the light, concerning yourself with shadow, and know what you're going to have to deal with when you get there?
Oh yeah, you can ask Val on Saturday.
Yes.
We before we even shot, I talked to her about what the idea was about and what we were focused on, and what the lighting is going to be like, what time we're going to shoot, what the angle of the camera is going to be like, what I need her to do. So there's a lot of pre-planning and then planning on the day and then the actual shooting, and then afterwards a lot of the post and the actual editing process. So I go through an extensive process. Anybody I talk to about taking photos with, I definitely take my time to plan kind of almost every detail if I can, but there's times when I can't, and that's okay too.
Yeah, Val, what does that do for the subject? I mean, when you're kind of being prepared for this photo shoot and stuff, and all of a sudden the photographer's saying, "We're not ready yet. We're not ready yet." Is that something that you have to adjust yourself to do?
Honestly, I enjoy it because I feel like the majority of shoots that I've done, it's been more on me as to what poses
Right.
or in that sort of sense. But it was really great having such specific direction, and to be able to sort of fulfill that idea and that concept that you had come up with. I actually really enjoyed having.
Right.
You know, we waited, the second part of the shoot we waited until the sun was just at the right, just as it was setting to get this perfect lighting. It was really great having that
That's great.
much
Yeah.
detail.
On an average, how much time does a shoot take?
I mean, it depends. There's times when
The sun's only setting at a certain amount of
Right.
time, you know?
Yeah, it depends on the subject and what exactly I'm shooting. For this, I already had a clear vision in mind, I already had a clear process in mind. So it was really kind of, I know what I'm going in with for gear, lighting, setup, wardrobe, and just streamline. And it took us about an hour and a half of shooting to get what we wanted.
Do you poster board it in your head?
I do a lot of poster boarding in my head. I also do a lot of inspiration gathering on my own free time. Anybody who's used Pinterest, it's kind of incredible. Tumblr,
Yes.
Pinterest. I use
Yeah,
so I do a lot of board pinning, things online or offline that I find. So it really depends. But there's times when I have 15 minutes to shoot somebody, and that's just how it's got to be. Kind of one of the big things of being a photographer is being able to adapt and change at a moment's notice.
Right. Are you able to, most of your work is set up work where you got an appointment with somebody? Or do you carry a point and shoot around with you?
Well, you can, my girlfriend and I, she's actually taking pictures right now, I am always taking pictures. So
Yeah.
regardless of whether it's constructed or thought out or not, I'm always trying to learn something new. So I do a lot of cell phonography or Instagram shots. My Instagram is my most active social media platform.
Do you use your camera?
I actually
use your phone?
I do. I actually picked up this really high-tech phone. I'm big into tech, which I won't go into today, but you know, I spend a lot of time making art when I can.
Because when you're driving down the street and the ice is coming down from that fire escape and the light is right and the sun is over here, you can't run home and get your candy, can you? You got to do it now.
You know, I heard a funny thing one time. The best camera is the one you have in your pocket, but then my friend turned around and told me, he goes, it's also the one you left at home. Which I thought was a funny comment.
Are you showing any place? Is there some place people can go and see your work?
So currently, TravisAlexPhoto.com is my main website. But most of my activity is done through my Instagram page at Instagram.com/TravisAlexPhoto.
So that's when you want to like that or whatever Instagram.
Yeah,
is.
I mean that's find my website, of course. All my social media platforms are there, but that's my most active, Instagram and Tumblr.
Well, let's take a look at a couple of the shots that you brought in for us and walk us through what we're seeing here.
Okay, so this is my friend Sue Buzzard. She's a classical violinist, and she hired me to take her portraits a while ago. And we were looking for something that had a nice, stark, androgynous look to it for her. And Sue just has that kind of look to her already.
Right.
So we went over to MIT, and there's these beautiful Victorian pillars,
Big columns,
and lights and big windows letting a lot of natural light in. And we spent about 35 minutes inside with strobe lighting, and I kind of wasn't getting what I wanted. And I saw that one sliver of light was slipping away by the second. And I was like, that would make for a great, straight on, like very stark, interesting lit portrait. So I had her run out there with her jacket within about 2 minutes, and we had a window of about 3 minutes to take that photograph.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next one?
So this is interesting. This is my friend Dawn. I got the idea for this portrait from Fear Loathing in Las Vegas. Kind of that idea of the headshot that's on the cover with the motion blur and that kind of portrait of someone smoking.
Yep.
I focus a lot on people's emotions and how I feel about them. Dawn's a kind of a free spirit, very tough. So I wanted something that was kind of very confident looking.
I love it. Okay.
Landon Richmond. Oh, he's a fun story. Landon's a really good friend of mine, great artist. If you get a chance to look at him, nonotruth.com. I wanted to capture a true essence of him, plain and simple. He's kind of a manic guy, lots of personality. He's an out there artist. He's outside the box. So I wanted to capture this photo of him, this portrait of him that it kind of encapsulates the essence of who he is, and that's that person always struggling and fighting against the grain.
Okay.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Oh, Adam. Adam is a body painter. But I always loved his, hipster lumberjack look, and I wanted to do something humorous with him, something that was just kind of silly and funny. So I got this really stern portrait of him with a little Lego lawnmower, and it looked like shaving his head bald. So,
Does he not think it's funny?
oh no, that was kind of the idea, was to make it very stern, like.
Okay.
And Francie, she actually is a gallery curator. I think she's the assistant gallery curator at the Griffin Museum of Photography. I went to school with her, and she's a very emotional, very serious, but also light person who she kind of like lights your heart up when you meet her.
Right.
And she was in the middle of a breakup at the time, and I wanted to capture something that was very emotional, very stark, but very simple.
Okay.
That was all natural light.
It's beautiful.
That portrait took 10 minutes. And then there's the portrait of Val.
That's Val.
So this is my
I
first
love
experimentation really into my next fine art series. I'm calling it My Inner Existentialist. And it's kind of these thoughts I have. And this series is called Falling to Pieces.
Poor Val.
Right.
It was amazing. It was a very challenging shoot, but it was incredible. I loved every second
I was
of
talking about the Photoshop manipulation.
Yeah.
This is my first dive into it, and it's this idea that, as an artist, you're constantly always scattered, and you're falling to pieces and trying to put things back together, and kind of floating downstream. So I wanted to really capture that kind of essence.
It's very, very cool. Thank you. That's
amazing.
great. Do you prefer black and white or color?
I honestly like the juxta both. I kind of consider myself a Jekyll and Hyde kind of photographer. I really like stark, gritty, natural black and whites, but I also like really vibrant, rich colors.
Very, very cool. Travis, I want to thank you so much. Give us that website again.
It's travisalexphoto.com is my work.
That's great. Everyone can see what's going on and kind of follow you and
Yep.
get an idea of what you've been up to.
Yep,
and-
Instagram is the most common, but that's the most active, and that's just Instagram @travisalexphoto.
Will you come back again?
I would hope so.
I hope so. Thank you
Thank you
very
for
much
having
for
me.
being here. Listen, gang, you're watching BNN TV's It's All About Arts. Travis, thank you so much. We'll be back in just 1 minute. Please do not go away. Got a lot of show left. Well, welcome back, gang. Thanks an awful lot for hanging in there with us. We are coming to you live from our beautiful Studio B here at BNN TV, and you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. You can give us a call, 617-708-3290. Dave will answer the phone in the other room and get you right over to us. It'll be great to hear from you. But right now, it's my great pleasure and honor to introduce you to writer, photographer, educator, an all-around great dad.
Thank you so much.
Robert Wheeler, how are you?
What a pleasure, Glenn.
Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you being here.
I love the drive in, and you're right, this is a stunning studio.
It's a great. I'm so fortunate. We're so happy to be able to come here every Monday. And you know something? I tell everybody, I learn something new every week. You know, because I have such fascinating guests like you on
that's so nice.
to talk about some of the great things that they've been doing.
I appreciate that.
You've taught before. You've been a grade school teacher. You're all the way through the system, right?
I was 5th and 6th grade, which I absolutely adored.
Yeah.
And now then I was high school for a bit, and then now I'm university, and I teach the same way. I teach the 5th and 6th grade.
You know, there's
students.
nowhere to go after that but preschool, you know.
I know, I got to try that one. Yeah,
It's a lot of fun, I gotta tell you, Bob.
You know what? I would love to be a guest in your classroom.
I would love to
maybe one day.
I would
That'd be
love to
fun.
have you. It'd be a lot of
It'd
fun.
be fun to see that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But we're here to talk about this
I love it.
incredible book of yours.
Yeah, thank
I
you,
hold this
sir.
up so you can see it.
Hemingway's
Paris. What is that about? What's
Oh my
going
gosh.
on here?
Yeah, you know, everybody has written so much about Hemingway and about Paris, and I've been studying Hemingway since 1986, finally it all started to come to fruition when I was in Paris, and I started to see more of a sensory experience, more of the sensory experience that Hemingway had and shared with the city itself. And that's what this book is about.
We're talking Ernie, right?
Ernie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one and only.
Yeah, that's great. It's a book of mostly images. I think you're using a lot of your photography skills here.
Yeah, wow, that's funny. You're right. Yeah, no, it is. It's a combination of the black and white images and the prose, and the goal is that they mirror one another to give more of a sensory feel of what Hemingway's experience was like in the 1920s in Paris, as a budding modernist, as a new husband, and as a new father.
Right. So. What inspired you to do this?
I got to be honest with you, I've always wanted to do something with Ernest Hemingway. I'd read so much about him, again, since 1986. And then I started to go to Paris, the place where he learned how to really write. And the city itself inspired me, because I started to see not just those iconic landmarks, but the spaces in between those landmarks came alive to me. And from the River Seine to the weather to the statues, they almost started to tell me, you got to take this photograph, Robert, and you have to write about Hemingway's experience when he would see me. When he would sit down near me. And so it was just listening. It was a lot of listening for this particular book.
How long did this take you?
This was about 5 one-week trips to Paris, where I had to say goodbye to my family. I don't know how to speak French, but I felt that was a good thing, because I needed to feel this sense of isolation throughout the whole thing. There's a bit of a melancholy sense to that book, an isolated feel to it, a timelessness feel. So it was just a lot of introspective work on my part, which was quite nice.
Why black and white?
I felt like the city demanded that. I felt like most every photograph is taken during the winter months, when it was a heavier time, and I found that when the bloom was stripped off the trees, it was far more intriguing, and it was nice to see the Haussmann facades, and everything it was so heavy that when I shot color, it didn't move me, and so black and white just told me it wanted to be there.
So when your website is up and running, and there's that drag down menu of something that's going to describe you as an artist, what comes first, a writer or photographer?
Oh, that's fun. I would say that I absolutely adore the written word, and I adore punctuation, and I adore sentence structures. And then I love beautiful compositions of photographs. But then again, when I'm writing beautifully, that I think is beautifully, or I'm taking photographs that I think are significant and lovely, I hear music. So maybe I'm a musician.
Why not?
Yeah, I hear music, right?
I could have used you in some of my classes, my dangling participles and splintered metaphors.
Yeah, that's fun. Good stuff.
Boy,
how to use those ellipses.
Yes, exactly.
Good stuff.
What were you using to shoot with?
With this, I used a combination. I used a Panasonic GF1, which I absolutely adore. And then I used a Leica X113,
Okay.
which was quite nice. But the interesting part is that both were set on the automatic features. I never
You
left.
didn't have to fool around with it like Travis?
You know,
You just
I was so
pointed and
impressed. I was
pushed
like,
the
I
button?
should probably leave this show because he's far too technical than I am. It was simple. I was just feeling my subject,
Yeah,
and I just hold the camera up, keep
That's
it on
good.
A, and I just hit the shutter button, and then I'd go home and I'd be surprised.
Yeah, there's a lot of fascinating. Where can people get this? At your usual places?
Yeah, any usual bookstore, independent to Barnes & Noble, and online, and it comes in ebook as well.
Okay. Are you signing anywhere?
I've been signing.
Because
yeah.
someone signed this one.
Yeah, exactly. It's so fun,
proud of
right?
that. Thank you
I
so
love
much.
that. Yeah, no. Currently, I don't think I have anything scheduled
Okay.
for the near future.
Will you
I've
let
been-
us know so we can let people know?
That's so nice.
So
Yeah,
they can,
definitely.
if you're going to be at one of the colleges or something like that.
It's also on my website, which...
What is your website?
It is www.hemingways-paris.com.
Okay. What do you teach in school? What's your
I
main?
teach writing. I teach composition course, but I do it differently. I do it completely differently. Never any long papers, like never, only one-page papers, because I'm always impressed with a beautiful word
Yeah.
or a sentence or a well-placed comma.
I just did 2,500 words on an argument with a thesis statement.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's nice.
and
It's beautiful.
I found it to be fascinating and fun to do.
Yeah, to
Writing
layer
in
in.
writing in the third person it's hard for me to get the wheeze out of there. You know,
It's hard, but if you can do that and still give a sense of emotion and feeling to
Yeah,
your
yeah,
work,
yeah.
you win.
Yeah,
With third
yeah.
person, because in many ways.
what I got to do is grab the audience and really kind of capture them and make them want to listen to what my
Oh,
argument
absolutely.
is. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
And my argument was art in school.
Oh, I love
Art and
Which is
education.
the most important thing.
What good is it?
Oh.
I can't tell you the opposition I found, but anyways, besides
yeah, I don't want to get negative.
but angry
here.
about it.
Yeah, no, I'm getting angry.
What's happening? What's in the future? You working on anything new?
Yeah, I just got back from Cuba this past Saturday night, and I was there for 37 days.
You didn't bring us any coffee?
You know, coffee. I have a couple cigars in the car. Oh, it was so good. It was so nice. But I went there, and I shot this one, and I shot Cuba in color. But I went there to find the soul of Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah.
These aren't books that are, these are more sensory experiences, what Hemingway felt like.
Right.
You know, why did he choose to live in Cuba, outside of Havana, most all his life?
Right.
You know, what was it about the air? What was it about the sea? What was it about the people?
What's the access going to be? Oh, it's going to be great access now, right?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's still not completely open, but we're looking at just within the year.
Will you please come back?
I would love that.
You know,
Very kind.
Open it, Travis. Everybody, anyone that's on this show, I always say, listen, we want to know what's going on.
Oh, I love that.
You know,
Thank you.
I learn and we have such a good time here learning and finding out about
I
people.
felt
So,
it.
You know,
And that's the most important thing. I felt it.
Robert, thank
Thank
you
you.
so
What a
much.
pleasure.
And thank you for bringing your daughter with you. That was
Yeah,
nice
my
to see
Emma.
her. Your
I love
Emma,
that.
she's
Yeah,
here.
she's everything.
Don't move yet
Oh, won't
because
move.
what we're going to do is you're going to help me do this, okay?
Okay, there we go.
Val's view is a very important part of this show, okay?
Yeah.
So we're gonna shoot it off to Val. So Robert, we got Val's view coming up
Oh my
next.
God, I love Val's view.
It's
Are you kidding
fabulous.
me?
It's going to be a good one.
Finally.
Ready? One,
Yo,
two, three.
2, 3.
Val's view. Over to
It's
you,
on.
Val.
Well, thanks, guys. What a spectacular introduction. I appreciate it. So I have a couple great fun things going on in and around the city of Boston. So first on our list, we have the free brown bag lunch writing series. Now this is going on Wednesday, August 19th from 12:30 to 1:15 p.m. It's going on at Grub Street on Boylston Street. So this is a great way to spend your lunch, especially if you work in the downtown area and you can get over to there. This is a series that focuses on creative writers meeting other creative writers and getting the chance to bounce ideas off of each other and take part in these cool exercises and even learn some new techniques maybe from the award-winning instructors of the series. So if you get a chance, stop down there if you're a writer, even if you're not and you just want to sit in and maybe learn a little bit about the creative process of writing. You can head on down during your lunch, bring your tuna salad sandwich or your ham and cheese sandwich and spend 45 minutes learning some new ideas. Best of all, it's a free series and you don't even need to RSVP, you can just head on right down. So second on our list, we have the Boston Tattoo Convention. Now this is going on Friday the 21st till Sunday the 23rd. And this is the 14th convention, if I'm not mistaken. Now it's incredible. These conventions bring together so many amazing artists, so many amazing tattoo artists. And so it's not just about who has the most outrageous tattoos, but it's about celebrating the long-standing history of tattooing and the culture, and learning about the artists and seeing the masters work and create and being able to experience that. So it's going on at the Back Bay Sheraton Hotel. So you can purchase tickets either at the door, you can purchase tickets online. Can't emphasize it enough how many great artists that are going to be there. Actually, I myself am going to be heading down there to check out some of the work, because I love tattooing. I love the culture behind it, and I love the idea of being able to use your skin as a canvas for art. I think it's incredible. So definitely go check it out if you have a chance and you're free that weekend. Maybe you can get a tattoo yourself. So third on our list, we have North End Week. This is going on the week of August 26th to September 6th. Can't believe we're already talking about things going into September. It's crazy. Summer's almost over. So now this is going on in the North End neighborhood, of course. So this is a spectacular celebration of the wonderful neighborhood that the North End is. Best of all, it's a free celebration. So it's really no secret that the North End is an incredible hotspot for the Italian culture. It's famous for its food, for the people, for the stores. It's just an incredible neighborhood to be in. One of the most popular events that's going on during the week is the Festival of St. Anthony. So aside from the Festival of St. Anthony, which goes on for a couple days, there's going to be live music, there's going to be walking tours, there's going to be fireworks, there's going to be gelato. Everyone loves gelato. So definitely go check it out. If you're Italian, celebrate your heritage. And even if you're not Italian, there's going to be something for everyone, for families, for kiddos, for date night. Definitely go check it out if you get a chance. It's always my pleasure to bring to you the fun and exciting things that are going on in and around Boston. I hope you get a chance to check some of it out. And we have great show, another artist coming on. So stick with us, don't go anywhere. We're going to be back after this short break. And we'll see you in a minute.
Short break. Thank you, Valerie. I appreciate that. And what a segue, too, because it's my pleasure in honor now to introduce you to my next guest. His name is Giovanni DeCunto.
DeCunto.
DeCunto. I knew
Conte.
Usually knew I was going to get it wrong. Giovanni, how are you? Welcome to the show.
After 16 times.
I didn't practice enough.
There you go.
How are you?
I'm
Thank you very much for coming on to the show. Speaking of the North End, that's where your great studio is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You work right out of the North End here in Boston, and you're a painter.
I'm a painter.
Now, what's your medium that you work in?
I'm an expressionist painter. I paint with acrylic and basically acrylic on canvas.
How long have you been dabbling in the art?
I've never dabbled.
How long have you been mastering the art?
Pretty much all my life.
Okay, yeah. And you have I've just been informed that you are is it New Balance? The New Balance Man of the Year? Explain that a little bit.
Well, I'm the Made in America. A part of there's a tour that they're doing, a craftsman tour.
Yeah.
And I was picked as one of the people.
Well, that's great. That's fabulous. How does that happen?
It happened. This happened. I was supposed to be the artist for the World Games, the World Cup.
Yeah.
And I was working with Dan Hogan, and what happened was they got our idea and then picked somebody from Brazil. So
that happens all the time, doesn't it?
So then they just came over and they asked me to do this for New Balance.
That's great. Let's talk about your artwork. When you're working, do you set an atmosphere for yourself in your studio? Are you listening to opera? Are you listening to
I like
talking
I like
heads?
gangster rap.
You like gangster rap, so
That's
you
right,
listen to some MDs and whatever they are, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. Seriously?
No, I like powerful things behind me.
Okay.
And the messages that come out of a lot of the hip hop and are really things that I enjoy.
That's pretty
Well,
cool.
that's how I grew up.
Right.
So.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Lawrence.
In Lawrence. Okay. Are you working on several pieces at a time?
I'm working on right now. I'm working on like 12 pieces.
12 pieces. Now, is the atmosphere always the same, or does a certain painting or drawing or picture here have a certain kind of feeling to it? So you have to kind of change what you're listening to.
Well, my assistant sometimes changes the music on me.
A good assistant will know when to do that, won't they?
I guess so. Well, I have a DJ that like set up all my music, so we just have to punch it.
Yeah,
in.
and everything that comes up is going to be something.
Pretty much like they follow. It can follow my whim.
Yeah. How do you find your subject matter? I mean, aside from someone knocking on the door at 10 o'clock at night.
How do I find subject? I mean, everything is subject matter to me.
Everything is open to you.
Everything.
Okay.
I mean, I do a lot of like. I'm working on a lot of high-tech kind of issues, like artificial intelligence and things like that. And I do a lot of like social issues.
So you're making statements.
Yeah, I mean, even my portraits are iconic.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that's refreshing to hear, because I have artists here that say, "I just want to draw a pretty picture," and then not have necessarily something to say it behind.
No,
it.
I've always had an attitude.
Always had an attitude.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Well, you have to have an attitude,
Yeah.
to get your point across. I think that's quite apparent. Are you showing anywhere?
I'm showing in Naples, Florida, right at the moment.
Yeah.
I just work out of my studio. Basically, we're in the middle of doing a lot of stuff. So I'm in the middle of creating an e-commerce site.
Okay.
And then we're doing just
all kinds of things. Now, is the e-commerce site up and running yet, or
it's almost there?
Let us know,
within the next
please.
2 days.
Oh, let us know so we can tell people where to go.
Yeah.
I mean, to find out some of
Giovanni DeCunto.com.
You already know. You're lucky that was available.
What was?
No one else took it?
Nobody would take that name. There you go.
When you were painting as a youngster, has it always been the same kind of have to say something a little?
Well, I mean, my first commission came out of MIT.
Yeah.
And I painted Harold Edgerton, the developer of Strawbosity.
Yeah, I know.
So I was pretty lucky. Like right out of actually before I went to college, I got that job.
Yeah.
And what happened was I got it into the Fog Museum, and it went over to the Smithsonian. And
right off the bat?
Right off the bat.
Wow.
So from the Smithsonian, the president called, and they wanted me to paint the president. And he said,
You said sure.
Just kept going.
That's great. Well, that's an inspiring career for someone that was starting out younger, right?
Well, that's what I do.
That's what you do.
That's what I do.
Can we take a look at some of your work?
Sure.
I'd like to take a look at some. Can we show and share, please? That'd be great. Talk us through what we're looking at here.
That's a painting of the Boston bombing, the marathon bombing.
Yeah.
And that was actually purchased by a company in Denmark. We were on Channel 2, and they did a special on it, and it was picked up by 240 affiliates around the country.
Yeah, yeah.
And then from there, I had Area 9, that company that deals with the frontal lobe of the brain and makes you smarter.
Okay.
These guys are like
they were above me,
genius kind of dudes. They bought the painting. And
how big is it?
I think that's 12 feet by 9 by 12 feet.
That's amazing. So this is a real elephant down here.
That's a real elephant. I don't know where they got the elephant.
Okay, in this?
That's a painting of Ebola. The same company bought that. And the funny thing about the Ebola is when I went to when we went to install it, the actual guy that's curing Ebola was standing right behind me.
No kidding, really?
I freaked out.
Oh, wow. That's fabulous.
Like,
talk about inspiration. Right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I know him.
They bought that one too.
That's great.
I couldn't figure that one out, but
why? That's a fabulous painting.
Well, it's a fabulous painting, but I couldn't figure out why somebody from Denmark would buy
How big is it?
It's I'd say that's like 6 feet.
Are you always working large pieces?
Yeah, well, I mean, unless they make me do
If you're working
small
on
ones.
12 pieces that size, you're not.
Yeah,
Oh, that's fast. That's great.
yeah, I'm an animal.
Yeah.
And those glow in the dark, by the way, so
Yikes.
they become a second kind of painting when you shut the lights. They don't, the first kind of paintings that you don't need light to actually see them. And I don't use
What's
tools.
the material you use for
I
that?
don't use tools with my paint. I actually just paint from the tubes or the receptors. that the
Okay,
paintings
yep.
are
Do you
in.
use a palette knife?
No,
Okay.
no. Those were done, I met this girl down in Miami, so I call them anatomic isolonic.
Okay.
Yeah, her name was Anatomic.
So where'd you get
I mean,
that?
they got like, you know, these girls that have strange names on there.
Yeah, I do. What else do we have? There you go.
Okay,
This one fascinates.
okay,
This is 3 pieces, isn't it?
it's 3 different pieces. It's simplicity, duplicity, and multiplicity. When you first meet a woman, you see the simplicity. As you get to know her, you see the duplicity, and then there she is with the
Issues.
multiplicity.
Everything,
The
every-
issues come out. There you go.
They're fascinating.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
They really,
so
really
that's,
are.
That's what those paintings are about.
Do you, when you, I think you might have already answered this, but I didn't get it. What is the style? If you had to,
My style?
For a pull-down menu.
My style?
Yeah, what do you call it?
Well, they call it in the books, I'm an American expressionist.
What do you call
But I don't know. I think I'm gonna say the same thing that James Brown said, man. It's new stuff, and it's gonna get a name.
It's going to get a name
It's gonna
eventually.
get a
So you're
name,
you're more than creating.
Yeah,
You're
it's
developing.
all James Brown right there.
Boy, you go back to James Brown.
James Brown was the coolest cat.
You know, I saw him at the Orpheum Theater, and there must have been only 30 or 40 people in the place.
Really?
Unbelievable. And he came out and did a full show.
You know, he
cape and all, helping him off the
he
stage.
could, you know, the thing about him is he could understand the pulses of the universe coming in. His beats like were
Yeah.
right on target to all
Yeah.
to the way the sun comes
And
in.
you'd also swear he's up there by himself, doing what he loves
Yeah.
doing, you know? It was just an incredible show in itself. That's great. But you're a big rap fan.
Well, you know who I'm doing. I'm doing a label for the keyboard player for Tower of Power.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, they're a really tight band too.
They're a great band. They've changed personnel over the years, many times.
Yeah, but they're still like they still get top guys
Right,
like
right,
going
right.
in.
You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Val to come up and join us. Come on up here, Val. Have a seat. I know that you're dying to sit next to
Oh,
Hey, your
Giovanni.
work is incredible.
Oh, thanks.
It's beautiful. Very
Thank you.
talented.
Val does assemblage pieces.
What does
So
that
they
mean?
look very abstract and
Collage.
collage and working with different pieces like that. Val's up because we're almost close to the end of the show.
we're done now.
Not just yet. We still had a couple of minutes with you, Giovanni. I just wanted to make sure we got Val back up here.
Okay.
Are all your pieces like consignment type? Not consignment, but well, people are ordering pieces
I
from
mean,
you.
I get a
or-
lot. I get a good amount of orders, so it keeps me like, you know. Right now, I'm doing these paintings, so it's my free time. I've made enough, like, you know, inroads this year,
Yeah.
so that I got like these 5 paintings that I'm just doing that are totally experimental. And
But the question I think I'm asking is how often are the paintings something where you're watching CNN, something hits you and you go, that's making me create something I want to show someone.
every day,
Every day?
every day.
How do you control that?
I don't.
How do you keep it in order? How do
I'm
you
mental. I have people around me to help me. They all help me because I'm mental. I just go into mental. I go totally mental, and there I am. You know.
Next thing you know.
and I'm in trouble. Like I don't even have to do anything. All of a sudden, trouble follows me, and I'm there. You know, bang. And
Oh, well, that's.
he's back again. Boom.
Will Robert Wheeler be writing about you someday?
I don't. Who was that?
The guy who was just interviewing.
Oh, yeah, probably. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was
See?
never good in school
You're
either.
crazy.
You know.
I want to thank you for being here, though.
Oh, thanks,
And
man.
listen, you're a local guy. You got to come back anytime.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. You know, when
I
you get
will.
something that you want to talk about, there's something you want to give us, you know, let us know what's going on. If there's a show locally,
Cool.
but we're going to tell our friends down in Florida that to go and check your work out. You know, if there's an opening someplace where you're
Yeah,
going to
we're going to be doing some stuff down in Miami as
Yeah.
well. I do a lot of shows down there, so I'm thinking about getting a second
studio or studio down there.
or gallery. I don't know exactly what.
Can people go to your studio now and see work, or is it kind of like you just share a space?
They got to call.
Yeah, by appointment.
I have a gallery part to it, and I have an assistant that runs. She's pretty much running the studio and the gallery now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's great. I want to thank you
Because
so
I
much.
can't run it myself. I'm like.
That's quite apparent. You made me say that.
Thank you so much. Oh man, I'm not swearing. All right.
Well, you would come this far.
Okay.
Let's
we've
make
come
it to
this
the
far,
end.
yeah.
Giovanni, thank you again for being here.
You're
No,
a
it's
doll.
really, it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go. We need to have you back and
I fell apart.
That's okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Listen, gang. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks an awful lot for being here with us, Val. Nice show.
Awesome show.
Yeah, nice fun. A lot of good artists. Listen, this is what it's about. Every Monday night we come in here and we do some artful things. We learn a lot of things from Val's View. You can see Val's View on the City Paper every day, every week. Go check out Val's View on the City Paper. And like we like to say every week, please get out there and do something artful. Please go visit some of these websites we've talked about. There's some fascinating work being done by some fascinating people right here in the city, and it's a great place to come and find out about it is here. But what I like to say, and Val and I like to say every week, please, keep in the forefront of your minds our mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, aunts and uncles, and nieces and nephews on foreign soil. Please, think of them, keep them in your mind's eye, and do something artful for them, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, gang. Listen, we'll see you next week, okay? Bye-bye now.